In the business section of this morning's Washington Post, an article from one of our guests later in the morning, David Hilsenrath. He writes about the hearing yesterday dealing with the situation over at Fannie Mae. And he writes, Fannie Mae Chairman and Chief Executive Franklin Raines yesterday criticized the giant mortgage funding company's federal regulator for airing allegations that the company cooked its books so executives could receive bonuses. Quote, this entire examination has been the most unusual regulatory endeavor I've seen in the 30-odd years I've been in this business, Raines told a House subcommittee in this first public response to a critical report by the Office of Federal Housing Enterprise Oversight. Raines goes on to say, I don't believe that there has been an adequate explanation of why they followed this path. Other financial regulators would have handled the matter in private and announced the resolution instead of disclosing unproven allegations, said Raines, who described the dispute as a matter of conflicting interpretations of complex accounting rules. The release of the report triggered a $14 billion decline in Fannie's stock market valuation, he said. And David Hilsenrath will be in later on to talk more about the investigation of Fannie Mae. Our next call comes from Gettysburg, South Dakota. Go ahead.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
I'd like to answer the lady who said that we rushed to war in Iraq, and the man who said that Hans Blix should have kept looking for weapons of mass destruction.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we were still at war with Saddam when we went in again. And the only reason why he let inspectors back in was because we parked an army on his border. And we couldn't leave that army there for months and months while Hans Blix went around digging up Iraq spoonful by spoonful, looking for weapons that everybody except, I guess, the Norwegians believed were there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Sun Valley, California, on the others line. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, C-SPAN, for at least giving a small wee hours of the morning on the West Coast anyway voice. I just think basically the whole rhetorical frame of this election and just about every other one prior to this one is completely off the mark. The powers that be from both sides of the aisle really are not honest with the American people when it comes to matters especially that have to do with foreign policy. The bottom line, as I see it, the major thing that's so apparent in all this is what one of your previous callers touched on. Nowhere am I hearing from the so-called opposition from the Democratic Party is who installed Saddam Hussein as dictator of Iraq. Who trained and taught Osama bin Laden to be a terrorist in Afghanistan. If Americans look back through history, you see it was the CIA and the economic powers that be. Basically, where the politics are framed by war profiteers, and we're given these, frankly, erroneous, frames for debate that really get us nowhere, except to quote Ozzy Osbourne, same feces, different a-holes.
We've got another clip from yesterday's testimony by Charles Duelfer, and in it he's talking about whether or not if new discoveries in Iraq would have changed his initial findings. This is what he had to say.
Then, too, we continue to receive a continuing stream of reports about hidden WMD locations. When such reports are judged sufficiently credible, ISG conducts an investigation. And in fact, 2 weeks ago, we had a source came to us with a partially filled canister from an old, and I repeat, and underline old, 122 millimeter rocket round. These, like others recovered, are from pre-1991 stocks. And despite these reports and finds, I still do not expect that militarily significant WMD stocks are hidden in Iraq.
Earlier, we talked to you. We told you about Representative DeLay of Texas and how he had been scolded by the House Ethics Committee. And on the Democratic side, House Democratic Leader Nancy Pelosi and Democratic Whip Steny Hoyer and other House Democrats will be holding a news conference to discuss the Ethics Committee's rebuke of House Majority Leader Tom DeLay. That's going to be happening this morning at 10:30, and we'll have a C-SPAN crew to cover that. You can check on when we're going to play that on our webpage, c-span.org. Back to our calls. Next up is Miami, Florida. Go ahead.
Yes, I must say I'm for Kerry very adamantly. I think that the Bush administration has led this country into division, one against another, with the Social Security and Medicare things happening there with prices of prescription drugs. I'm in construction. I have been for 30 years, and I've watched this country under the Democrats prosper. And under the Republicans, they 9 times out of 10 send us down the tubes where 1% or 10% of the highest paid people in the country get tax breaks, while the working men get more and more closer to poverty. Our health insurance is in the garbage.
Miami, let me ask you, if they had found weapons of mass destruction, would that have changed your opinion of the president, and would you be voting for him in November?
No way. At the time that they went to war, I thought in my heart that it was a wrong decision. We should have stayed with the world body. The UN is not a bunch of idiots. They do know a little bit about foreign policy themselves. We're not the world's watchdog, and we should never take that. Too many times a watchdog turns into a rabid beast, and that rabid beast should be put back in his cage, and that's basically the way I see the Republican Party. They whip up things that make us afraid.
Las Cruces, New Mexico, a supporter of President Bush. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I believe that you asked a very important question. Saddam Hussein, according to this report, remained a threat. He had the capability, and he had scientists, and he had the money, and he was paying off the UN so that he, and you know the poor little children that died, that oil money, he was paying off people in the United Nations. So he was capable. He wanted to. Israel had to take him out years ago. Do you remember that? When Israel had to take out a nuclear plant there? And so he's been doing it. He's used weapons of mass destruction on his own people. He killed little children. He let little children starve so he could get what he wanted. He hates this nation, and he has admitted it. So thank you very much.
Yesterday, the House passed a hurricane relief bill, $11 billion total, and we've got a breakdown of where some of the money will be going to. FEMA will be getting $6.5 billion. The Army Corps of Engineers, $245 million. The Emergency Watershed Protection Program, $95 million. The Red Cross will be getting $70 million. HHS, $50 million. And the Coast Guard, $26 million. And you can find out more of that by going to the webpage, www.house.gov.